back and I revisit my missing friends, and I get notifications on their birthdays, and Eric Radley is one of them. We used to call him Hero. That's what he went by when I knew him in Boulder, Colorado. He was even my backpack once. Well, he was really, really, really drunk, and so I gave him a piggyback ride to somewhere where he could recover. And he used to sing this song when he'd see me. Backpack, backpack. So a few years ago, his mom reached out because he was missing, and I've been keeping my eye out ever since. Eric Radley. He goes by Eric Hero on Facebook. Today I got a notification again. No word. He was able to let us know a few years ago that he was in California and Hollywood living homeless there. He had to move a lot. You don't get to be too comfortable when you're homeless. That's what he said. I haven't heard any word from him in such a long time. And I noticed that people post up only when he's having another birthday. They post up again. Happy birthday, Eric. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. He's still missing. He's still not checking in, and people just don't seem to care. They chalk him up as being found because he was able to send one message a long time ago. But the thing is that he's still homeless out there. He still doesn't check in. People worry about him, but obviously not enough. Maybe he's got a new profile that he uses instead. Maybe he broke his phone. Maybe he's just living it up, party life. Who knows? What I know is that I miss him, and I haven't heard from him, and I worry about him. I know how things can get out here and how cruel people can be. I know that a lot of times you think you can trust the guy next to you because he's in the same situation as you are, and then turns out he's just not as loyal or decent. He'll stab you in the back to take your shoes. Some places, literally. You think because the guy next to you is going through a lot of the same stuff that he understands and that you'll be able to work together, and then you come back from a attempt to get a shower and clean up so you can go to a job interview and all your stuff's gone and your friend's gone. Or your stuff is all scattered about except the stuff that's worth money or your actual money. And that stuff's all gone, and your friend is way since left. Lots of things can happen. Eric Hero, he's got blue eyes. Well, depending on the light, they can be bluish green. I don't know if he still has the same dog that's in the picture. I don't know if he's still in Hollywood or if he's in Irvine or Huntington Beach or Los Angeles, or if he's in Florida or Tennessee. I don't know if he's in Montana or Texas. He could be anywhere. But he's definitely somewhere. And I haven't gotten any notifications of him being dead. But why would people notify me? A lot of people, when somebody dies out on the streets, nobody bothers to try contacting their parents or brothers or sisters. Nobody would even know to. Or they get so caught up in how often it happens that they don't even consider doing so. With trying to get the police to do something about a missing homeless person. Especially when it's a homeless person trying to make the report, you might as well just shoot yourself in the foot. I'm not telling you to actually shoot yourself in the foot. It's a metaphor. I know people use just about any excuse they can to try to shut me up. But that doesn't stop me from speaking out about my missing loved ones. You can pretend I'm selfish and only think about myself all you want. Just because people don't care about me doesn't mean that I can't care about them. When you tell me that I should think about only myself, you should ask yourself what it is that you're asking of me. You should consider how much that hurts all of us, short term and in the long run. One thing about homelessness is that you meet a lot of people, because everywhere you go, people don't want the homeless there. Some people, they meet a few folks in the area that they like well enough, they're going to stick around and they're going to try to make a go of it. They're going to try to get an address, going to try to get a job, going to try to actually make a go of it because they have some support in that. And that is literally what it takes to get off the streets. Support, actual support, not services that are taking the tax dollars, but not giving the services. When you're being abused and these people are supposed to help you out with the paperwork to get out of these situations, to help you so that you actually have a chance at an honest life instead of, well, what do we have now? We have a bunch of money that is poured into forcing homeless people into extreme desperation, especially financially. You think it's really okay to deprive people who don't have any money of more money because they can't live legally because they have no money? You make every aspect of being homeless illegal. And then you say, oh, homelessness isn't illegal. It's just every part of homelessness that's illegal. Every single detail of being homeless is covered by you are breaking the law. You can't be here, you can't be here, you can't be here. You have to go here, you have to go there. You have to go to this place and that place and these people and those people, meeting after meeting after meeting. All of it eating up your time. All of it eating up what few resources that you have until your resources are gone and you've got nothing to show for it. They send you to these mental health places when they're supposed to have social services get involved. And these mental health places, it's a two-part system. They got your therapist and then the person who's supposed to be your advocate. But if that advocate doesn't do their job, then you go back and you end up seeing that therapist a whole bunch and that advocate a whole bunch. And they end up getting paid your tax dollars for that. But nobody ever gets anywhere doing that without a friend or family member. That's why homeless people out on the streets, when they get up and out, it's usually when they couple up, boyfriend and girlfriend. If it's a good coupling, they both work together. If you've got a disabled woman who is homeless because she was forced into homelessness, she is disabled, and she gets a boyfriend out there on the streets, and he's homeless too, and he understands her disability, or at least he cares about her enough to learn about it from her perspective instead of constantly trying to talk down to her like she's an idiot. What'll he do? He'll go with her to appointments. He'll help her fill out the paperwork. He'll help to research the stuff that needs to go onto it. What happens if you get a bad boyfriend? Well, he yells at you, tells you you're just faking it. When you break down and cry and you were having a severe panic attack and you were curled up in a ball in a corner and they start screaming at you. And I am sick of this shit. I am sick of dealing with your fucking whining. Why are you always fucking whining? Why are you always bitching? Why are you always out here telling me how fucked up your life is? Why are you always bringing me down? That's a shitty boyfriend. Now, don't get me wrong, that second type of boyfriend is still better than having no boyfriend at all, and here's why. As a female on the streets, you can't go to sleep alone. You have to be constantly afraid that you're going to wake up in the middle of the night to somebody touching you. You can't zip up your sleeping bag. Because if you zip up your sleeping bag and somebody mounts up on top of you while you're in your sleeping bag, you are pinned in place. There's nothing you can do. They got two hands free. They can cover your mouth. In some places in the United States, the homeless women on average are raped 5 times per month. 5 times per month on average. When it comes to serial killers, we're the most likely targets of serial killers. When it comes to being killed by the police, we're the most likely targets of police. You don't stop to consider how many tax dollars you are throwing away. It is destroying our economy to waste money the way that we're wasting it to not help these homeless people. Why do we have 40,000 therapists getting paid enough for a homeless person to get off the streets to listen to a homeless person? That's your help? This person is going through hell because they've been abused into homelessness, and your help is to make them pay for the bus, to go to a meeting, to talk to a therapist. You're going to pay for the therapist. And then, of course, in order to stay with the therapist, they want you to sign a contract that you're going to literally go back every single week for 2 hours. And you just keep going back and going back and going back and going back. So you've got a homeless person who's got to know the bus schedule, hop on the bus schedule and hop through all of that, just to have to come back next week. You get assaulted 3 times in that week, right? And you go to your therapist, you go to the person you're supposed to go to, and this happens. And yeah, they never help you turn it in. They never try to help you the way that you're supposed to be going to them for. This is what you're told you're supposed to go to them for. When you're abused, they're supposed to help you to get up and out of that situation. But that all comes down to, will your therapist do their job? Most of the people that Eric Hero is going to encounter in the average day, most of those people, they're jumping through some form of the system that's costing the taxpayers a lot of money. I mean, not just being locked up in jails or prisons is really expensive. $100,000 a year for the cheap side in most places. Over $200,000 per inmate in some places. And for us out here on the streets, we don't even know where they might have been railroaded at. There are homeless people all over the United States sitting out time in jail and prison for the simple act of being homeless. Because your bias and your hatred against them, the law doesn't care about the law at that point, especially non-appointed officials, such as sheriffs. That's not an appointed position. It's a voted position. That means they don't care about the law. They care about the constituents' beliefs, their opinions, what they think. It's Eric's birthday today. And he's one of those missing people that I'm hoping is not counted among the dead. I also realize how many of the people that are still friends with me on my Facebook that I knew in real life. Stephen Green, he's dead. He's dead. Anna Hunka is dead. Tommy's dead. Morgan Burns is dead. Janine Barrett's dead. Ryan Ingersoll's dead. Tim's definitely dead. Tim Cossack. I was at his house for a couple of days after Natalie was killed. Well after Natalie was killed. He was so messed up on meth, and so were his friends that were coming over. Christine Buheit's dead. Stephen McMillion's dead. Of course, we all know Natalie's dead. It's Eric's birthday today. It is, come on, 8:56 a.m. It's Friday. Most of the places that I needed to get a hold of a long time ago, I'll be stuck all weekend not being able to get a hold of any of these places. With the number of jails and prisons in the United States, that's a lot of phone calls. Plus, even if you do call the right place, they might not let you know that your friend is there. And that's messed up too. If you have enough people that care, they'll call a lot of facilities. I remember sitting there with a whole bunch of homeless people. They're all texting in their phones, typing in their phones, and making phone calls, trying to find someone, calling the hospitals, calling the sheriff's department, calling the police station, calling the jail. You know that if it's been a month or more, there's a good possibility you should probably start calling the prisons. And that's about the time everybody starts puttering out. But you got 2 or 3 people willing to make phone calls and try that. Prison tells you that they're not there. Then Years later, that person gets released from prison. They said, man, I got railroaded. They tell about a situation that happened years ago, and many of those people were there for the situation. They know the man's telling the truth. He'd just been sitting in prison on bullshit. They arrested him. He didn't have the money for bail. They didn't let him use the phone like he has the right to. If they do, they've taken away his ability to have the numbers to give to someone. But most of the time, he's just straight out denied his rights. Eric Hero could be anywhere. Eric Radley. Anywhere. Today's his birthday, and I would like to hear from him, and I'm sure his mom would probably love to hear from him as well. I'm in Oregon, Hero. I'm in Oregon. I'm in a shit town called Tillamook. Come find me. At least get a hold of me and let me know that you're not a fucking corpse. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.